Hello everyone, welcome to Card Making Fundamentals and welcome to the Love is in the Air classroom. I hope you're having a fabulous day and I want to say Happy New Year to you all. I think 2022, can't believe it's saying that, but 2022 is going to be a fabulous year. Today we're going to again create with lesson number 1, and first we're going to go over all the items that we're going to need to create our projects. Now, you're going to need basic supplies. You're going to need some scissors. We're going to do a little bit of fussy cutting, so you'll need to break out your fussy cutting scissors. You're going to need some glue, and then you're also going to need a craft pick. I have this craft pick because I use it for travel, and when I create with Card Making Fundamentals, I grab my travel bag. It's just easier to have it all in one place. There's my little travel bag. But if you have a tool-in-one, grab that because you're going to need something that pierces paper. We have some brads in the kit, and so grab your craft pick. Okay, now we're also going to need a tape runner too. Almost forgot about that. So before I jump into with anything else, I do want to say, how do you like the white work surface, guys? Usually I use a black craft mat, but I thought we'd change it up for the brand new year. And I don't know if the white is going to be washed out or not. Let me know what you think about that in the comments. But I thought we'd try something different. This is actually a mouse pad that's great for stamping, so that's why I have this here. But I might change it out later on because I'm just that kind of a girl. But so far I think the white looks really nice and clean, so I'm liking it. Okay. Before we jump into our project, you're going to need some inks. This is a real ink heavy classroom, and let me zoom in a little bit. I have 5 ink cubes, and that's what you're going to need. You're going to need a red, you're going to need a pink, you're going to need a brown, and any kind of ink. I'm using little mini Hero Hue ink cubes, but you could use full-size ink pads too, guys. Get your favorite inks out. You're also going to need 2 shades of green. The greens that I'm using are kind of in the olivey family. You'll need a light and a dark. Okay. I don't know if you guys want to know the colors, but this is Red Royal, Cotton Candy, Cup of Joe, Moss, and then I'm not sure what this one is. This one, I have it labeled as a My Monthly Hero kit from back in February of 2018, and it's called Feather. So I don't know if it's gonna work, but we're gonna try because that's the only color that's olivey pale green. So you're gonna need 5 inks. Now I suggest going in your kit and pulling out your envelope bag, guys. Some of your envelope bags will have tickets on the front, and then some of them will have the circles. Use these as a color guide. The brown, the red, the green, and the pink, and then like this one on the ticket, look for a green that's pretty close to that color. I think that's a great, just do a little swatching. That's what I did with these inks, and to see if they would coordinate with my pattern paper. And so these ones were really close. So I suggest doing that. Okay. Now that's all the supplies that you need. Everything else is included in our kit this month. So I'm going to go ahead and set these aside, and then we are going to start off by doing some stamping. So grab your acrylic block. I included this. This is a very narrow, about 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch maybe, an acrylic block, but I included that along with a stamp chamois. Now I ran this through my sink already. When you run it through, give it a little while for it to absorb, and then I like to scrunch it while the water's running, and then kind of let that water go into all the pores of the synthetic cloth. This is a nice chamois for stamp cleaning. I was super excited I got to put this in the kit for you guys. So go ahead and pause the video and go rehydrate your cleaning cloth here. Okay, I have mine set on some paper towels. I actually keep my stamp chamois in a little tool gadget like this. It's really dirty, but it's nice because sometimes if you put this like in a Ziploc bag to keep it moisturized, For some reason it smells. It kind of gets a little stinky. I don't know why, but it does. So this prevents that. So if I remember, I'll link this little gadget down below. But it works fabulous. Jennifer McGuire actually recommended this, and I can't say enough good things about it. So I'm going to put this aside. You're going to need your stamping block, and you're also going to need your sponge daubers. So grab those while you're at it. I have some that I already inked up. I don't want to dirty up some more because I already created projects for the pictures, but grab your daubers also. Okay, now of course you are going to need to take out lesson kit number 1. I wonder if this is distracting. I don't know. Let me know if this is distracting or not. Okay, versus the black craft mat. But let's put these over here since we're going to stamp over here, that maybe it'll be less distracting. Let's open up our lesson kit and take everything out. And again, guys, you can keep your bag for your finished card. Your envelope doesn't fit in there, but your card will. Okay, and then behind your green pattern paper here, there's some white 80-pound cardstock. This is great for stamping, so that's what we're going to stamp on today. So grab that and put the rest aside. Okay, next you're going to need your stamp set. Go ahead, isn't that the cutest stamp set? I was super excited I get to put this in the kit this month. Okay, you can remove the saran wrap off of the back. Keep that. Remember, this is a great protectant. If you have some acetate, it'd probably work a little bit better, but keep that. You are going to start off by grabbing your tree and put that on your acrylic block, guys. Okay? Next, you're going to take your daubers out. I'm just going to set mine up because they're pretty inkied up. Finger daubers are really nice. We're going to start off by taking our brown ink. Let's zoom in a little bit. How about it's a little bit clearer? I'm going to put this aside. Put these here. Making sure it's a little bit easier for you guys to see. Okay, first we're going to take our brown ink. I have Cup of Joe here. Take your finger dauber, ink up with brown ink, and go over your tree trunk. I love doing this, okay? And then, it looks like a hot mess, but that's okay. And if you overlap some leaves, it's not a big deal, guys. I'm going to go with it. Next, take your darker green ink and go, oops, I almost went directly to my stamp. Ink up your dauber with the green ink, and then go over the leaves. This is a great way to add 2 tones. This is pretty dry, but this is a great way to add 2 tones to your stamped image. Once it's covered, take your tree branch and stamp it on one side of your cardstock. I'm going to hold it down a little bit. You can see you have a trunk with green branches. Pretty cool, huh? Okay, after we have this done, we're going to clean off our stamp. Okay, and this does stain your, no matter what inks you use, guys, your stamp chamois not going to look pretty blue anymore. So just a warning, it's going to get all pretty inked up. Let's put this back. And then we'll set these inks aside. We're going to go for our red ink next. Okay, and grab your bird. The bird body here. Then you can ink up the bird body with your red ink. Okay, and then stamp that. Give it a little bit of room over here because you're going to need to stamp the wings. And it stamps lovely. If you want to go ahead and season your stamp with your hand, with the palm of your hand, go over it, you can. That's what I did originally, but it's not really necessary. These are good, really quality photopolymers. I love paper tray ink stamps. I'm going to put that back, and then you're going to take your wings. Okay, now what I'm going to do is line up my wings on my image. Kind of evenly spacing them. There is going to be a little bit of a gap. You don't have to go all the way next to this little curve. You just go, just follow along it a little bit. It's going to create an automatic gap. And you might need to flip-flop them. There's a lefty and a righty. And the nice thing about new stamps is they stick to your paper and you can lift it up. Okay, now once you have your wings on here, take your acrylic block, pick up your wings. Okay, so now they're evenly spaced, and all you have to do is just line it up and stamp once. We're actually going to stamp twice. So next we're going to take our pink ink and we're going to stamp these. Ink these up. And then stamp our owl's arms. You can see the little gap that happens. Oops. And this one didn't stamp too well. But you know what? Thank goodness it didn't stamp too well there. It's just fine because we're going to actually add a little bit of dimension and pop some wings up right on top of it. Stamp your wings once more. Right above. Okay, I kind of got a little heavy-handed, so if you wanted to, you could stamp this one more. And I don't want to get there, better. So I'm not going to use that. I'm going to actually take a pencil, cross that out. Okay, so our wings are done. Clean these off. We'll put these back. And then we are going to take the love, put the lid back on that one. The love, the heart that says love in it, take that. And then we're going to take our darker green ink and we're going to ink this up. And then we're going to stamp this right over here. And then I'm going to actually stamp one more on the owl. Because if you tilt it, you want to be able to see the green in there. Okay, so once we get the love stamped, we get to add some details. Grab your little feet piece. It's a little rectangle. Put this back. Grab your brown ink. And then we're going to stamp our feet right below our little bird here. Oh, cute. I just love this little guy. Okay, then we'll put that back. There is a little triangle piece off on its own. Grab that. That's the beak. And we'll ink this up. Once you ink it up, you can kind of tell where the curve line is. And then stamp that over the beak of your owl. Easy peasy, right? And then there are lashes, guys. I'm going to do one at a time because these are too small. Take your one lash. You'll know what's the left, what's the right. Ink that up with your brown ink. And then stamp one lash right next to the eyeball. Cute as that. And then we'll do the same thing with the other lash. Ink that up. And stamp that right next to the other eye. And it's okay if it goes actually into the white area of the eye, because we are going to fix that. Okay, we'll wipe off. our lashes. Okay, now before, that's all the stamping that we're going to do on this page. And so, but keep your block out, and that's all. I'm going to put these back in my little bag. Take is in the air, guys, and put that on your acrylic block. And then over in your little kit, grab that. Let me zoom back out here. And then grab your embellishment bag, and there's a photo frame in here. Take this photo frame, and then we're gonna stamp is in the air along the very bottom. Put this over here with, actually, I take that back. I'm on the wrong card. We're not gonna do that. That's all the stamping we're gonna do. So I made a mistake. So put that back. You don't need that. Okay? So we can put our inks away. I'm going to set these aside. Keep these inks in your little homework pile, because we'll be back to with lesson number 2 using those same inks. Okay? So now, once we have our stamping done, take your scissors, and we're going to do a little bit of fussy cutting. Maybe this is too distracting, huh? But I'm going to fussy cut, leaving a little bit of a border, a little bit of a line, and this is pretty easy to do. I think you have more control if you, I'm going to go all the way down on the inside of the branch, only because I think it looks nicer. Go up the branch, all around the leaves. I'm not going to go down the second branch. I think it's too small. But when you fussy cut, it's easier to move the paper versus your scissors. I know you guys have probably heard that a lot, but it's very true. So, tree's done. Next, we are going to cut out the love and leave a little bit of a border around this. One thing I am so not good at fussy cutting with is circles. Oh my gosh. I don't know why. Such a basic shape, but I am not very good at it. Okay, I'm going to cut my owl out. He's next. And here. I enjoy fussy cutting. How about you guys? You guys don't mind it? If you have a scan and cut, you could very well cut your images out with a scan and cut. That's nice, but there are open areas too. So that is your little bird. He's cute. And then we can do our wings here. Leave a little bit of a border around these. And we'll do our next one. Have polka dots on there, which is nice. Okay, wings are done. Now we're going to go ahead and there's 2 eyeballs that are in your embellishment pack. Let's just take everything out here. Carefully, you don't want to lose them. And then there's the eye. I originally lost the eye for your miss you, so I had to use a paper punch and cut some eyes out, so I had lots of them. So I gave you an extra one in case, because I always lose the eye to the miss yous. So I gave you extra. You only need one, but okay. Now we need our craft pick. This is where our little craft pick comes in handy. These are actually adhesive backed eyes. So I like to kind of, it's kind of really hard actually to get these off, but especially with nails. But if you use glue directly on this, guys, if you use glue directly on it, the glue doesn't stay. So you'll have to remove the release paper off of the back of your eyes and add those to your little owl over the existing eye. Do the same thing to this. And it's going to want to squirm. Maybe if we hold it. I'm going to pick up that paper. There we go. There's your eye. Toss the backing, the release paper out, because you don't want to mistake those for your eyes over here. The dot of your eye. A whole bunch of eyes going on, huh? The dot for the eyes, and then the googly eyes, and the eyes on your little owl. A whole lot of eyes. But isn't that cute? I put one higher, one lower. I better scoot that up a little bit. And they're good to go. Okay, now we are going to go ahead and take a foam square. I'm going to take it off the release paper, and then I'm going to use my scissors and trim a small piece and put it on. Might need to, well, I think one will fit. Trim another small piece and then add that to your little owl wing. Okay. And then remove the release paper. And then you can go ahead and replace these wings with the ones you fussy cut out, because we like dimension. Boy, that's a little sharp looking. Let's trim that. There we go. Okay, then you could take a smaller piece of the foam, and this time you want to kind of square it off. Put that where the love is. Just remove the release paper and add your heart right above the existing heart. So we have a little owl that has some dimension. Making sure I can get it centered. How cute is he? So that's your little owl. Flip this around, guys, and add a foam square behind here. So your owl's ready to go, okay? Now, next, we have this little piece. We're going to go ahead and take our photo frame, add a little bit of glue behind it. Usually I'd like to pop it up, but I think we don't need to do that with this. So just add some glue behind here. A thin bead. Okay, add that to the back of your photo frame, so we're kind of framing it in. And before it's adhered all the way, take your tree, guys, and tuck that branch up here and then kind of pull it down a little bit. Like this. Okay? Actually, take that back. Forget that idea. I'm sorry. We're going to go ahead and add foam adhesive behind our tree. Add a very thin strip of foam tape. And then remove the release paper. Add one more here. Okay, this one's going to go hanging off of the bottom side like this. Okay, now we're going to grab our kit contents. I want to move this out of the way. I'm going to move this. This is actually adhesive, so my mat doesn't move. Let me see. Let me use my little magic eraser here. Magic erasers are lovely. Okay, there, because that would have bothered me. Okay. Next up, we're going to grab our little kit and let's set these aside. We're going to start off making sure your card opens the right way. Okay, we're going to take this paper and then we are going to add adhesive behind it. And I'm out of adhesive. Grab another one. Add our panel to our card base, making sure it's centered because there's a little bit of a border around there. Okay, next, this little piece, put this corner up in this corner. Okay, and then kind of put it at a diagonal. This corner up in this corner at a diagonal. Okay, and then trim off the excess. Flip it around, it's probably easier to flip it. Okay, and actually, oh, I think it's too late now. I'm going to trim it here. I want to carefully lift this up. Bad teacher. And then we're just going to trim this to the pattern paper. Okay. This way your cut line still leaves a little bit of a border on the card base. You can see there. Okay. Then what we're going to do is take these pieces. We're going to go ahead and take our pink and add this to the very bottom of our panel. Line it up. Okay. Ideally, guys, you'd want to do your panel first, because if there's a little overhanging, you want to trim it off. But I think we got lucky. Now with this piece, we're going to add a little bit of adhesive on the bottom edge. And then we're going to add our decorative strip. Actually, we're going to add this to our red cardstock. I just want a very slight red border. Our heart is really red, and so I wanted to bring a darker red in. So line this up along the very bottom, just so a little bit's peeking out. Okay. Can trim off the excess here. Better. And then we can adhere this with our tape runner to our scalloped edge. I like to make sure that it's evenly spaced. A little bit of a white border. Okay. Now, I have 30 seconds left on my camera, so I'm still live, but my camera only goes in 30-minute increments. So in 23 seconds, my camera's going to shut off, but I have to just push start again and then we'll continue, okay? I'm going to trim off the excess here, and I'll trim off the excess here. Okay. And then we'll flip this around. We're going to take our foam squares and add, okay, I'm back. We're going to add, I like to go one on each side, and then we can use 4. I take that back. Let's just use 3. I should have gave you guys more. Okay. We'll use 3 here. Kind of evenly space it. If you have leftover foam tape, you could use that, but I think 3 is plenty. Okay. Remove the release paper off of your little decorative strip. And then place this above this line here. So it's nice and even. And it should be nice and straight. But we have a little dimension there. Okay, next we're going to go ahead and take our brown ticket, make sure it's right side up. Let's add adhesive behind it. This is going to go evenly spaced on here. And again, I'm going to lift this up, guys. I should have told you to do this on the panel. Actually, let's just trim it off. I don't want to tell you to do, because what if you guys already did the card the way? Okay, there we go. Let's go all the way edge to edge. Okay, then take your pink ticket, make sure it's right side up. Now this one, we're going to adhere this, but instead of going ticket, I want to offset it a little bit. So that's why I have that extra piece on the end, so we can offset it a bit. So basically, use the 1 on your ticket and line that up about around the curve of the next ticket. And then tack that down, and then it should be evenly spaced. Like this. Okay, then we'll flip it around. We'll trim off the excess here. Okay. And then, I love, oops, careful you don't, these are kind of delicate. You don't want to damage those. And that kind of stuck to my desk. Okay. It's a little running, the video's running a little bit long, so bear with me. We're going to go ahead and take our photo frame, flip this around, and then we're going to go ahead and we're just going to add one foam square. And then this is going to go, because it's at an angle, it should go right below important notice. So use your important notice kind of as a guideline, and then angle it at that angle. Okay, we're going to grab our little owl, remove the release paper here, add him to our little tree. Okay, then we could actually put him a little bit higher. Ooh. We're going to put him a little bit, how about a little bit higher? Well, a little bit here. Okay. Next we have our little circle. Take your craft tool, punch a hole in it, and then grab your brads. We're going to take one of these off. And then we're going to put our heart through the middle here. It's kind of a little hard to gauge the middle with these brads. Maybe make the hole a little bit bigger. And then center this. I am going to punch the hole a little bit more over. I want to make sure your brad is centered. Then open the flaps in the back. And if you have to scoot it over, you can. Okay, now flip this over, and I'm going to trim down a small piece of foam. Put this on the back of our brad. Remove the release paper. And then add this over here. We're going to take this and make sure your foam adhesive, guys, bad teacher, make sure your foam adhesive is off to the right, because this is going to overlap on your stem, and you want it nice and even. And you want to make sure your circle is your heart centered, and then your heart is facing up and down. Okay? We're almost to the home stretch. Now, with the leftover piece that we have, cut some very thin strips of foam adhesive. There should be enough foam adhesive for 4 strips. And then take your missue, flip it around, and then add some foam adhesive behind. You don't need it on the M, but you'll need it in the rest of the areas. And you don't really need too much. Put one over here. There. Okay. Remove the release paper here. Okay, and then take your missue. It's going to overlap a little bit on your photo frame. I think that's going to work out great. And then take your glue, add a little dot just above the eye. And my glue's clogged. Darn it. That's for Tombo's. Always faithful. And this one's. It came out. Amber. Oh, that's the strangest thing. Oh my goodness. Okay. Welcome to Unedited. That's just strange. But it's probably because I haven't used it in 100 years. So that goes in the garbage can. Let's unclog our glue. Let's see. I don't have a needle. Okay. And I don't know where that amber color came in. That is the strangest thing in the world. I want to open it up and see what it is. Let me see. Okay. Yeah, it's amber in there. It's just old glue. Look at that. That's craziness. I actually have another one. Okay. I didn't know glue could go bad. Anyhow, okay, we're going to put this back. And we're going to take one of our eyes, just dot our missue here, making sure it's centered. Okay, we're coming right along. We're going to put this back. Now what we're going to do is take our little other eye and toss that. We're not going to need it. And then we're going to open up our, this is actually, it's a glaze, like a glossy accents. And I wanted to go, it's really hard to squeeze out. But I'm going to go ahead and add a couple drops and spread it around the love on the owl with the nozzle. Kind of just spreading it out. This is going to just give it a little bit of shine here. You can see there. If you don't want to, if you guys have, if you don't want to mess with the squeezing of this bottle, and have glossy accents, or your Journey Glaze or Glaze and Glue. You could use that instead and just take this and fill your container up. But just because it is a little bit tough to squeeze. But and then last but not least, I have 2 tickets left over. I didn't want to put them on the outside. I think there are lots going on, but I do want to add a little bit of something on the inside, since I thought the tickets were just adorable. So I am going to crisscross them and put them on the inside. Careful, you don't want your glaze to over drip, but just put those on the inside. They're cute on the inside. Or you could put these on your envelope if you wanted to. That's cute. But that is lesson number 1 with the Love is in the Air kit. Thank you for bearing with me with all my hiccups with the glue clogging and the mistake about the side here. Sorry about that, guys. But I hope you're having fun, as much fun as I am. This is a long video, but that's what happens when you go live. I hope you have a cup of coffee, and I hope you're nice and cozy, and I hope you had fun. I'll see you next Friday for lesson number 2. We'll see you guys. Bye-bye.